Welcome back to JOOOSH's, actually it's Don't Watch JOOOSH's very boring video diary. Welcome back. Today we are going to make coffee the best way, the way I prefer. It's the right compromise between ease, limited equipment and taste. So let's get to it. Well, first of all, you need to order one of these from Taobao or wherever. Like, don't even know what it's called, but this is the one I have. This one actually has two layers. It's got a fine mesh layer here, and then it's got this honeycomb sort of pattern there. Hopefully you can see it on the video. By the way, this video is 360 degrees, so you can actually look around at the rest of my room. I don't know why you would. I should actually film it in regular video. But I get to test things, and I'm doing a test right now in a way. I've also got, if you look here, you can also see I've got my microphone attached to it. So I'm also testing the sound again. I mean, I've tested it before, but you can always test it more and be better at your craft. Anyway, so you need one of these. You don't really need the double strainer because I'm actually going to triple strain it. Triple layer, but you know, if you can find it, it's good. If you get a single one, no problem. Don't even know what brand it is. I got it from Taobao, the Chinese Amazon, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Just look up coffee thingy. I don't know. Whatever. If anyone knows, you can put a description in there, but don't put a description to your shop. That's very bad. Just put a description to the item name. Alright, this thing is not heavy. It comes in different sizes. I got the largest one. Oh, there's actually a brand name for this one, but it doesn't matter. They're all kind of the same, I guess. Made of stainless steel. Doesn't rust, hasn't rusted. I've used it for a bit. Came with this, but you don't have to get this, but it's actually pretty good. I like it. It's not very clean though. My dishwasher, something wrong with it. But anyway, I like this. It's some borosilicate magic glass that's really thin. And it was only a little bit more. I thought I'd get it. And it was actually not a piece of rubbish. It's nice. It's light. I love this thing. Just the right volume for one person. If you're a couple or a family, you might want to get the really, really big one, which they do make, and the really, really big one of that. So got that. This is optional, but I prefer it because it makes cleanup easier. So just some paper filters. I just bought this from the cheap shop. So unbleached, probably better for you and probably better for the environment. Unbleached paper stuff. There's some instructions on the back, but you can also use it with this. It's meant to be used with a different thing, but it does cut down the amount of rubbish, the waste. The cleanup is easier, but it does, like, trees had to die for it, so it's a bit sad, but they grow back, so maybe it's okay. Alright, so anyway, alright, open it up, scrunch the bottom a bit because it's quite conical. Goes to a point at the end, it's like a V. So if you don't scrunch it, it doesn't really go in as well. So scrunch it, put it in there nice. Doesn't really sit there, but it will later. I've got my El Cheapo jar for a cup, which actually isn't that good because it's hard to hold because the coffee is really hot and you burn your hands. It's much better to have a handle, or you can hold it like that, but anyway, you need money for that. Then I've got my budget Lavazza. It's from Torino, Italia, and wow, this is very expired. $18.95. That's probably why it was cheap. It was only $40. Hong Kong dollars, that is. But if I said $40, it's probably still be cheap because inflation is really getting us. Anyway, 40 Hong Kong dollars for this. It's the Inner Blue 100% Arabica Aromatico, a ground of coffee, 250 grams. It's delicious. So I got that. Just got it today, brand new, unopened. Open it like soda. I didn't bring a spoon. I could pour it, I guess, or I could go get. Oh, when you open it, it explodes coffee all everywhere because it's pressurized, like a good soda should be. And oh, look at this mess. You probably can't see because everything's blurry on this Insta360 X3. It's not that great at camera doing this kind of stuff. It's got its pros and cons. Should probably use, well, like one of those cameras there or that one. Anyway, I know how to use those really well, so got to practice on this. And you get to look around my room, whereas if I use that, you wouldn't be able to. So I got coffee everywhere, and I didn't bring a spoon, so I'm just gonna hack it. Oh yeah, that's about right. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, I wouldn't recommend this, because now I've got coffee all over the lip, which I can shake it down, but I'm making a mess. This isn't the best way to make coffee. Get a spoon. And you should probably do it by the sink. Then you'd have a sponge, you can wipe all this up. Alright, next step is to get some boiling water, or pre-boiled water, because I boiled it just now. It should still be very hot. And pour it in slowly. I've done this all wrong. I've done this the drip way. You know why? Because the last coffee I drank was actually a drip coffee. I've done this all wrong. Alright, hang on. Let me show you the drip coffee, and I'll get a spoon. Here's the drip coffee. It comes in a bag, and I don't know, you probably have to Google it. Or actually, I actually did a drip coffee tutorial on this channel, but no one's gonna watch that crap. I've done it all wrong. But I'll continue. It'll still work, kind of. Just won't be that strong. So for drip coffee, make a mess. You pour a little bit in of water and you let it seep a bit, so you kind of like let the water get into the coffee and seep a bit so the flavor can slowly come out. Now this will still work, but I've made a mess because I had coffee flying everywhere, and this is actually not the way you're supposed to do it. So I'll actually show you the proper way. I can rescue this. I got an extra jar for it. So alright, we're doing drip coffee now. Pour a little bit in at a time, very slowly. Enjoy it like a little drip. Pour a little bit in. I think this is the way you're supposed to use this, actually. This is the way you're supposed to use this product. Anyway, I do it a different way. I'll show you. You can see that's dripping in there. One design flaw I don't like about this particular version, hopefully they upgrade it, is like the water kind of sits on top of the base there. So like at the end of it, see, I still got a bit of coffee there, and I can't really get rid of it that easily. You know what I mean? There's like a few drops there, and then like it's hard to like pour it away. Now I'm making it more of a mess. See, that's an issue. I think they need to. You can probably fix it yourself, but you need to. That metal needs to curl down so it can run into the coffee. You know, like have a little lip on it or something. They could twist it or something. If they twisted it before they welded it on here, then it would solve that problem. I really think I should have been a product designer, but it's not too late. I might actually become a product designer. Anyway, so the drip coffee method, you just pour it, take your sweet time. It's kind of, people like making coffee, you know, like people hike to the top of the mountain and then they want to make the most perfect coffee, and they bring their espresso machine and their portable water cooking thing, boil it and then pour it in and do that stuff. Too much work, but people like their coffee, so you might as well enjoy. Like, this is simple. You just, the drip method, you just slowly pour it in a little bit, and eventually that will filter into your cup. You can see it's quite slow because all the grinds kind of, all the coffee grinds kind of block it. It becomes a filter. And then after like half an hour, you can drink your coffee. Alright, I exaggerated. It's probably less than that, but you know what I mean. It takes too long. So you'd pour, the way you do this is you'd have it into your cup, and this wouldn't be this thing. I mean, you can drink from this, but you'd probably have a more presentable mug, and then drip coffee. Alright, now forget everything I said before. This is the way I meant to show you how to do it. So pretend we're starting again. Now the way I normally make it is, I gotta spin. So I get my coffee, and I know there's water in it doesn't matter, you'll see. Get my coffee however strong you want it. If you like it stronger, put more coffee to water ratio. If you like it weaker, put less coffee to water ratio. You know what I mean? It's pretty easy, right? It makes sense. If you want more coffee, then you put more water and coffee. Less, you put less and less. Just make it the way you like it. It might take a bit of experimentation. So the way I normally do it is I put the coffee in there, and then I pour the water. Look, and then I pour the water. And that is like percolated coffee. It's closer to percolated coffee. So the coffee that's in here, I don't want to waste it, so I might as well put it in here. Can you see this? If you can't, oh, you should be able to see. It's 360 camera. It sees everything, as long as it has a line of sight. So making a serious mess now. And I usually do it in the kitchen. Okay, so then you pour the coffee and the water in here, and you let it sit for about a few minutes. I think maybe 2 to 3 minutes kind of works. And then if you want, you can stir it, or if you did science, agitate it. This is called agitation, making it angry physically. So yeah, you can stir it. I usually stir it a bit and then go off for a minute and do something, like not clean my room. But actually I can start cleaning a bit because I got rubbish, and I can get a sponge. So I'm gonna let that infuse for a minute while I go clean up. It's going to be very boring for you. You can sit here and watch, or you can just fast forward, or you can do what most people do and complain that this video is boring. But then I already warned them in the channel name, so hopefully those trolls have gone. Alright, cleaning up. I really made a mess before when I opened it. So next time you open one of these Lavazzas, you might want to maybe do what they do with soda and tap it a bit, or like that, so it can settle. So that way when you open it, it doesn't explode everywhere and make this mess. However, it will make my place smell nice. Okay, a little bit more agitation or stirring if you don't want to be fancy or scientific. And then what I do, which is a good tip actually, is leave it for a bit so that, oh, it's ghost coffee. Look at that. It's kind of dangerous. It could fall into my lap. Look at this. Look at that. Look. Leave it for a minute so the heavy coffee goes to the bottom, and that will be important for when you strain it. So I've got a new cup. It is actually new, even though it's very milky looking, because my dishwasher is not cleaning very well. Oh, you know when that thing exploded? I've got little grains of coffee in there. I'm going to give this a rinse. I'm pretty sure I've lost 95% of the people that were watching this crap. But anyway, to the 5% that are left, get a clean cup. This is kind of the best I have, sadly. Well, actually, I lie. I do have some IKEA ones, but I like this better for some reason. I don't know why, I just do. Okay, so that I haven't stirred it for a minute or two, which is a good trick because, now see this? That's all the wasted coffee. Put that there on top of the cup. I'm going to get a new filter. Here we are. By the way, these filters have a little notch. Look at that. So I can separate it easier. Isn't that cool and fancy? Not all of them have that. Another trick is sometimes I even invert it. So I didn't show you that before, but if you invert it, it also helps it hold its shape. Before I scrunched it. Okay, now sometimes they're not that good and they rip, but if you have it in there, it kind of supports it. So okay, so that goes in there, and then I'm not going to stir it. I'm going to pour it slowly because you can probably even see there, the top of it's more water. And the importance of that is I'll have less grinds in it, so it will actually save me time because it will actually filter very quickly the water. If I do that, can you see? Hopefully you can. Just look down a bit on the 360. So most of this is water, and then I can pour a lot of it, and then it filters it actually pretty quickly. And then look, most of the grinds are in here. So I'll let this coffee filter out fast, and then at the end I'll put in the grinds. Another trick is I like to give it a swirl in there, because if you don't do that, you get left with some coffee in the mixing bowl, and then it kind of, I guess you'd lose a bit of flavor because it's not going in there. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. If you don't know, I can always answer the comments if you want to leave a comment. So anyway, I'll swirl that around, and then you see that there's, oh, why is my camera blinking? It's weird because I thought it was blinking, and then I was like, oh, why is it blinking? But I guess it was always blinking. Anyway, there's a red LED. I'll show you, since this video is long anyway. There's a red LED. Look at that, blinking. And for some reason I thought it was continuous when it records, but it was always blinking. And then I noticed it was blinking, and then I thought, is something wrong? Okay. Now, yeah, as I was saying, oh look. Oh, I kind of moved it, but there was a whole bunch of coffee clumped up, like the grinds. So I'm gonna mix it again, swirl it, and then just dump the whole thing in there like that. Make sure you leave enough room so you don't overflow, but I guess you probably realize that. And then the last bit will take a little bit longer because now all the grains are there. The coffee grounds. Grains of coffee? I guess that's correct. they're in there and it's a little bit thicker, so it's a bit harder to filter out. Kind of like the drip method. And yeah, it is going through 3 layers. It's going through the paper layer, and then the fine mesh, and then the coarser mesh on the outside. As I said before, this has 2 layers, this particular filter. Probably doesn't matter that much because the paper already will be very fine, but it wasn't expensive to get the dual layer one, and it's a bit fancier, so I thought, why not? Perhaps it's a little harder to clean, but I just chuck it in the dishwasher and it seems to be okay. Just don't put it near anything sharp that could pierce the fine mesh. As I said, I quite like this. I really like this actually. This design, I mean, I'm sure they copied it from someone and made it, but that's okay. That's how design works. Someone comes up with a good idea and then everyone should make it, and then the more people make it, the more competition, and then it kind of gets cheaper and better. Like, consumers would buy the cheaper one or the better made one, and that would drive design and the product to be better. So yeah, like I said, look, it's almost done. I don't know if you can see, but look at all that coffee built in there. That's what I mean. If they had a little twist in that metal, it'd probably make it harder to manufacture. But if they had a twist, it would solve that problem. If they had holes in it, I don't know, water can still bead on top of holes, but if it was twisted, it would run down, I think. And then, okay, have a look at this. I'm going to move the camera so you can actually look down and see it now. See? That's what's left of the coffee, the coffee grinds. And then once it's a little solid like that, I can take it out, and I'm not going to be, I can just chuck this straight in the bin, and then I don't have to clog the sink. Because where do you put this? Do you flush it in the toilet? Usually you'd have a jar with this, and then you got to rinse it, and it's a waste of water. You're rinsing it, pouring it down the sink, rinsing it, pouring it down the sink, and then your sink gets clogged, and then you have sewage coming out of everywhere. Horrible. This is great because now I can just get this, chuck it straight in the bin. I don't have all these little bits of coffee to get rid of. Well, I kind of do actually, but significantly less. There's still some here, but not like a big clump of it. And then yeah, like I said before, this design, can you see that? Kind of give it a little shake, get it all out. You know, that's what guys do. Give it a bit of a shake, and then try not to make a mess. And then that's my coffee. It's probably a bit hot, but I'm going to try it and tell you what I think of, because this is the first time I've actually bought this Lavazza expired coffee from 1895, or maybe like a fine wine. It's more than 100 years old, this coffee. Maybe 100 years, like imagine if it's 100-year-old Scotch whiskey. That would be worth a lot. That's probably why it was 40 bucks. And it's made in Italy. A refined blend of selected natural and washed Arabica. Oh, I should do it in the accent, shouldn't I? A perfect balance of jasmine flowers. Oh, that's not Italian. Italian is, it's a me, a Mario. Now I'm in the mood. A perfect balance of jasmine flowers and almond scents, enhanced thanks to a long and gentle roasting. Alright, I did my best Japanese character of a stereotypical Italian plumber there. It was pretty bad. Oh, I should try it. I think I got the strength right. Not too bitter and not too weak. Just the way I like it. Probably could be a little bit stronger. Just a touch, but it's not bad. What else can I say? It tastes like coffee. It's a little bit bitter. I made it a little bit too weak, so I'll probably. Well, usually I would do it a bit more measured because I kind of stuffed up today. I did the wrong thing, and then I wasn't measuring it. If you want to get it consistent, get consistent. So get exactly how much a heap of teaspoon or whatever. Get that consistent. Get the water consistent. Taste it, see if you like that, and then adjust it for your own personal preferences. Or some people even weigh it. They like those coffee connoisseurs that I am not. I'm a hack. I think this is the easiest way to make coffee. I'm sure if anyone that really is into coffee saw this, they'd probably throw up and send nasty comments. Good thing no one watches this crap channel, so no one's probably going to do that, or maybe someone will. Who knows? Anyway, drinking it black because it's healthier. No milk, no almond milk, just coffee and water, no sugar. Probably the best way it should be drunk. Doesn't really taste that good actually, but you get used to it. And coffee is apparently very good for you, like health-wise and stuff. May keep you alert, but it's at least the current scientific literature says that it's healthy. Well, they say that now, but tomorrow they might say it causes cancer, and then the next day it's going to say it cures cancer. So who knows? Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. If you like this crap and you're still watching, then you obviously like this crap. Most people, I'm telling you, I can look at the stats. Most people, like 99% of people, have clicked away and fallen asleep by now. Or actually, no, they haven't fallen asleep. They thought, oh, why am I watching this crap? There's like 100 million other videos uploaded per second on YouTube that are much better than this one that they could be watching, and they have therefore gone and watched those. So if you're still here, you should actually, well, you probably already are a subscriber, and if you are, nice. And if you're not, well, you could subscribe. You'd get more of this crap occasionally. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Well, if you like what I did, you could try it and leave a comment and tell me what you thought. Yeah.